Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. More specifically, welcome back to Cameron's Coffee and Current Reads. I just woke up, so I thought what better time to have a coffee. Today I made an iced caramel apple coffee with a little bit of extra caramel and then some French vanilla coffee creamer. Coffee is definitely a 9 out of 10 today. Like, it tastes really good. I'm also in various stages of 5 different books, and I have different opinions about all 5 of them, so let's talk about them. One book on my currently reading list is The Love Simulation by Ed Easton. This was in my recent book meal video, so I went ahead and started it because I was excited about it. This follows Brianna, who is a vice principal, and Roman, who is a teacher at the school that she works at. And Roman is also the principal's son. And Brianna is like high-spirited and passionate, and she's finding out that the principal is using funds for things that aren't really benefiting middle schoolers, like a state-of-the-art football field and things like that, instead of their library that was recently ruined. So Brianna joins this team of teachers who enter into this Mars simulation, and the team that wins gets $500,000. So she basically negotiates with the team that when they win the money, it will go into upgrading the school's library. But little does she know that Roman is on the team of teachers, and it's forced proximity, it's, you know, rivals to lovers, it's all these things. And from the 14% that I've read, it's really fun already. It also kind of gives Abbott Elementary vibes just a little bit, so if you like that show, you probably like this book. And I think this one out of all of them will take me the longest to read, because I'm not doing like an audio book with it. I'm just doing like literally a couple of pages when I get around to the book. So who knows how long this one's gonna take, but I am really enjoying it, and I think it's gonna be at least a 4-star read, if I didn't say that already in my last video. Next up is Love Letters by Gangsta by Siobhan Latrice. Now, we know that Siobhan is not new to the channel, okay? We've talked about Siobhan before. But this book in particular follows Scotland, who is this young woman, and she was being abused by her current boyfriend. And in this act of revenge, she does something very risky, and she ends up getting pregnant from that interaction. However, she doesn't know like his real name, and then enter LaQuay, who is now in prison. And when the first 40% of the book, I roller coaster, okay, but try to follow a little bit. LaQuay is in prison, right? But he's the one that Scotland was messing around with, but she didn't even know. So now LaQuay is in prison, but then Scotland's ex-boyfriend Art is also in prison with him, okay? So that's its own thing. So somehow through Art, LaQuay meets Scotland, but he doesn't know it's her, okay? And that Scotland has his baby. So hidden identity for a second. He's writing her love letters from prison, but then she finds out, and they find out, you know, that they're each other, and they love each other, and they want to be together. So I did just finish this book, and it grew on me. At the 40% stage, I was like, I'm not liking this. It felt really like the first 2 books in the series, we got to see the entire family. We got a little bit about all the characters, but this one felt really like secluded and just Scotland and LaQuay for such a long period of the book. And then it kind of picked up when we got different point of views, saw different points of views, but the points of views in this one were characters that are going to continue on in the series, if that makes sense. Like, usually in the other books, once we get other point of views, it's just to be messy, right? And we know that those characters are not going to make it long. But somehow these characters have wiggled their way into the rest of the series. So even though this book ended up being a 5-star for me, like I really did like it towards the end, it's still my least favorite in the series. So we'll see Siobhan on the channel again. Next book is Give Me Butterflies by Julian Meadows, and I'm gonna be so honest, this is probably gonna be a DNF. I am 7% into this book, and after I read Wreck My Plans by her and I gave it 2 stars, I kind of figured that I just would not be vibing with her writing style, but I decided to give it another chance because this was saying perfect for fans of Allie Hazelwood, and we know me, but I don't think I'm gonna like this one. Okay, the next book that I'm going to talk about is totally different from everything else that I'm reading, and that is A Season of Light by Julie Aramuanya, and it follows this Nigerian family that's living in Florida and dealing with like generational trauma and wounds and just a lot. So basically you get a POV from the mom, the dad, the brother, and the sister, and like I realized the other day that that's like the cover, you know, the husband, the wife, and the kids. But you get their POVs, and this is around the time where you were seeing, you know, the girls in Nigeria going missing. So Fidelis, the dad, saw that, and he made it his duty to protect his daughter, and the way that he's doing that is locking her inside of her bedroom. He's guarding the door, like, you know, he's standing in front of the door, and then he even recruits the son to stand in front of the door. That's the point that I'm at now. The wife is struggling between how to be a mother to her daughter that's locked in a room, and then how to be a good wife, and also realizing that, you know, her husband is there's something mentally going on, but then also the consequences of calling 911 on him, you know, this black man, this Nigerian man. So she's going through this turmoil, and then you have Amarachi, that's the little sister, or that's the daughter that's locked in the room, and she obviously wants to be out, and she's looking out of her window and she sees this boy. I don't know how the boy's gonna come into the story yet, but I'm thinking she's going to attempt a runaway. So I'm 45% into this book. I don't know what's happening and what is going to happen. Like, sometimes I could easily save myself a little bit of trouble by reading blurbs, but I don't. I just go in so blind. I think I'm enjoying it in a weird way. So 4 or 5 stars maybe. I am doing my reread of Bloodmarked because I think I said in my last video how many days until Oathbound. So today, as I film this, it is February 27th. That means 5 days until March 4th. And I just started, and by just started I mean like an hour ago. I just started Bloodmarked, so I am not that far in and I'm nervous. This weekend is gonna be crunch time for me, but we're excited. I'm not gonna say much because I feel like I'm gonna give more thoughts like when I actually do the Oathbound video, but of course this is gonna be 5 stars. This is such an exciting reread, and more to come on this series. All right guys, that's it for this episode of Coffee and Current Reads. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments what you're reading, if you're struggling to get through it, if it's a DNF, or if you're liking it. I want to know what you're reading about. Also, if you want to know what I'm reading in real time, make sure that you follow me on Goodreads, because that's where my reading updates go before they make it into a video. And if you want to see just more general bookish content, that is over on my Instagram at Cameron's Library, and all of my other social medias are in the description, so check those out too. And of course, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, like the video, and even turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post a video. So yeah, thanks for hanging out with me and my coffee, and until the next time, keep reading.